If you own childcare locations and you still feel like you're everywhere, it's not because you're doing wrong. It's because you can't see what's actually happening. Most CEOs don't need more meetings, they need visibility. I created the CEO Audit to help you identify where your systems are breaking, where leadership is leaking, and where your time is being drained. This quiz is a leadership diagnostic. If you're ready to stop guessing and start leading, take the CEO Audit.
Hey, you guys, this is your coach, Dr. Andrea Dickerson here, founder of CEO Jumpstart Systems, where we connect childcare business owners with proven management solutions. For today's proven management solution is story time, and I want to take you back down memory lane. Yeah, I want to take you down memory lane when I owned and operated my own childcare program and how I stunted the growth in my organization by having my team depend on me for everything. And then I'm going to talk to you about what I did to do something different. So if you're interested in finding out more about this story time, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Most CEOs don't struggle due to on-site management. They struggle because the classrooms aren't standardized. When your classrooms run differently, leadership has to overcompensate. The CEO Audit helps you identify those breakdowns. The CEO Systems virtual walkthrough is where we activate the classroom foundation, your routines, flows, expectations, and structure, so your classrooms begin to run the same. Start with the foundation and visibility comes next. Book your CEO Audit today.
Hey guys, thank you so much for standing along with me. I am so excited. I'm excited because the Streamline Escape is now here. And right now, tickets are available at a discount. So if you're interested in finding out how to get in the room, stay in the room, and keep your coins, be sure to go over to www.thestreamlineescape.com, where I'm going to be helping CEOs like you install the proper management processes and systems so that you can really enjoy this freedom. Now, be mindful that after the conference, you got to go back home. Why? Because the conference environment is going to make you want to stay. You're not going to want to go back home unless you live on a private island that's surrounded by $1.6 billion worth of renovations, water, kayaking, boats. Oh my gosh. Just everything that you can expect to see on a private resort is there. So be sure to go and feel the difference, find out the difference, and check it out for yourself. www.streamlineescape.com. Well, all right, guys. So I want to get into my story. But I believe that God was already planning for me to be something great and bigger than what I was, and that He did not want me to be ordinary, but He wanted me to really run my business using systems, because when I opened up my childcare program, I had this very experienced director, and she would always say, "I got it, Miss Dickerson." I mean, she would even do this little scoop, 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 scoop. Now, the sad part is she was only with me for like 90 days, but she did help me to navigate the terrains of opening up my childcare program. And so she would say, "I got it, Miss Dickerson, scoop, scoop, scoop." And so she was so well put together, so professional, and really knew how to run an organization, very good people skills. And more importantly than anything, she really understood that I was young. I mean, I was like 25, no more than 30 years old, running multiple businesses. I had a nanny agency, and then I had my childcare center, and I had already started coaching childcare owners. So I was fairly young and new, and I needed that strong pillar to help support me. She really taught me that she got it, right? And I got pretty spoiled. And then in those 90 days when she left, I found myself bringing on people that I was comfortable with. And I'll never forget this woman. She even called the state on me, but that's a whole nother story. But let me stick to this story, okay? So I hired someone who had a professional background, however, didn't have any childcare experience. But she had, she was a counselor, and so she knew how to work well with people. And I thought, well, hey, this is a people role. This is what I wanted, but I realized I was so wrong. This was not a people role. I operated as site director, and the people that I hired, they were operating as the assistant director, but I was really letting them direct. Okay, read between the lines. So anyway, I thought that was a people role, and boy, was I wrong. She was good with people, but horrible with collecting my money. She was good with people, but horrible with my folders. She was good with people, but horrible with getting the task done at the end of the day. How many of you all can relate? And so that made my company rely on me because I didn't understand the lanes. I didn't understand the roles. I didn't understand the company org chart. I didn't understand the responsibilities. And all I knew was I needed somebody that was good with people because I thought because you was at the front of the foyer area when people walk in that you were the people person. And I realized that it is not the physical setting that determines the responsibility. What determines the responsibility is my org chart. And so this is how I accidentally became the doer in my organization. And that is because I didn't know no better. So I could call it an accident, but if I was to make that decision now, it would be intentional. So after you hear this video today and you still make the decision to allow people to be in a role that you haven't clearly systemized and organized, it is not a mistake. You are intentionally allowing your company to fail the systems test. So that was one of the things that really made my company depend on me, is because I was putting people in the wrong seat on the bus, not having the proper perspective of the company org chart in their lanes. Number 2, what was the wake up call that changed delegation? So I'm reading from my notes if you guys don't know. But anyway, the wake up call that changed delegation was the moment she called the state on me. When she called the state on me, she said something. She said, you want things done the way you want it done, but when it's on you, you don't like that. So let me tell you what she was really saying. So after the state had left, we had a hallway meeting, and I was like, who in this building would call the state on me about taking care of kids at the front desk? Because the state came in and said, Miss Dickerson, we had a complaint that the kids aren't in the room, that they're up at the front desk with you. And I said, yes, when I come in, I do favor this baby. And so I come and I take the baby out the room and I rock the baby and I feed the baby and I hold the baby at the front desk because I took a liking to this one individual child. And she was like, well, your front desk area is not licensed for children, so you can't keep children in a non-licensed space. And I said, well, I didn't know that. All I knew was I loved taking a liking to this baby. I wanted this baby to be up under me. You know how you get the babies that you really, find a liking to. But God don't play about me. God don't play about me, because he woke me up early that morning and said, get to your daycare. And I opened up my schools like 6:30 that morning, and like 6:35 the state was already in my building, because she had called the state, told the state that during the morning time we keep the kids at the front desk, and that was not true. It was just my own personal liking to this child that I would keep them at the front desk. So during the meeting, she said, well, why is it so easy for you to get on to us by not following the process, but then you don't want to follow the process, or you got a problem with it? I said, I don't have a problem with it. Oh, I don't have a problem with it. I said, so that's what made me know, like, I had bottlenecked my company. That was let me know I had hired the wrong person, wrong seat on the bus. Like, how you gonna call the state on me to challenge my authority? Okay. And so that's what made me realize, like, that was the wake up call. I got to change how I'm hiring, and I got to change how I'm delegating. So after that person, I did get a chance to bring on a center director who stayed with me for about 5 years, and then I was able to scale with that site director because I learned the power of delegation. By this time, I had my own manual on how my administrative department should be ran. I had to systemize my classrooms. I had my curriculum in place. We had 10 weeks teacher training. By this time, that one moment that I had woke me up, and I became like hungry for success. I became hungry for freedom, and I became so aware that as a CEO, my stuff got to be together. Like, I can't think that people on my team know me, like me, and trust me, and I can't think that I know them, that I like them, and that I trust them. I got to know, like, and trust my systems, my framework, my business organization. Y'all hear I'm getting crunk? Y'all hear it coming out of me? Well, the reason why I'm getting crunk and why it's coming out is because that's what that situation had taught me. Number 3, what true leadership empowerment looks like. So now that I understand how to empower true leadership, It doesn't come from me just dubbing someone worthy. It comes from my processes supporting their position on the org chart, their task roles and responsibilities, being firm, fair, and full of love when leading them, and also having a leadership training, a teacher training, and also allowing them to lead. And ensuring that they are leading as a leader and not just as a person that throws the book. Well, Miss Dickerson said, no. This is your lane. These are the tasks that you own, and you have to take ownership of these tasks. This is not a Miss Dickerson said. This is not a Miss Andrea said. No, this is the way you are trained, and this is how you lead those systems. So, for example, let me give you guys some of the tea. Let me just give you some of my behind the scenes stuff like you a paid client, okay? So basically what I've done is I created what they should do in 30 days, what they should do in 60 days, and what they should do in 90 days. And we follow a framework: the plan, the create, the launch, and the scale. Once a person knows how to utilize my systems in the scale process, that lets me know that my system is running the organization and that my system is healthy. Well, all right, guys, I think that I have empowered you so much on my story today. Maybe you can relate, but that was years ago. I learned a lot, and I'm now able to do a lot and build a lot better because of what I learned. And I'm hoping that you learned something from my story. If you like to ask me any questions because you still have some things that aren't really connected and clear, be sure to drop your questions below and I'll be sure to answer you. And as always, remember, if you manage the childcare business that you love, you will love the childcare business that you manage. Bye, you guys. And P.S., be sure to get your tickets, www.thestreamlineescape.com.